The date is October 19th, and you're listening to another episode of Hold My Whistle. I'm Paolo.
I'm Foy.
And we're together again to talk about Thursday Night Football. We're talking about the lottery. Mega Millions is up there. We're talking the NBA start of the new season, and we're going to freeball it today.
That's what it's feeling like. It's a free ball Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Commando.
Yeah, we're sipping on some breakers tonight. You know, no fancy drinks, just a big ice cube and some good old-fashioned bourbon.
We've converted you.
I wouldn't say full conversion. I'm kind of going along for the ride.
Yeah, you used to be a total cocktail guy. I need some things to water down my drink, sweeten it up. And now you're going classic. You're getting a little more hair on your chest.
Refined? Would you say I'm refined?
Exactly. Well, we're also drinking great bourbon.
Yeah, it's solid.
We used to just drink the typical stuff from the well, and now we're up there. Our whiskey game is tight.
It's almost like pinkies up.
Almost.
For the bourbon game.
Almost. I wouldn't put it there, but we're doing it. But hey, in Setting Nez this week, we got senior night.
Big game.
Big game. Playing against DP,
Jesus. Dos Pueblos.
For the Spanish speaker, I'm messing up.
Seriously?
2 towns. 2 towns.
Yeah. Very good team. They're big. They got some big hosses up front. It should be a very interesting game. We play good assignment football. We should do well defensively. I think our offense has a good chance to run the ball on them. Should be interesting. You know, it could be a dogfight, and it's got some serious CIF implications for us.
Yeah, for a team who hasn't made the playoffs last couple of years with a decent record, you know, we're in a new league. We could clinch it with a W, right?
No. We'll be in sole possession of second place with a win.
But that's a clinch for the playoffs, no?
Yeah, it's guaranteed. Well, it should be guaranteed, and we'd still have to win next week. And then there's a bunch of scenarios that could happen if we didn't win, or we did win and we lose next week. But if we win, you know, we'll take it 1 week at a time. We got a tough opponent this week. You know, it's one of those games. It could go either way.
Yeah, it's a home game, last home game of the regular season.
Yeah, last guaranteed home game for our seniors, and we're graduating 29 of them.
That's a huge group of kids.
2 big senior classes back to back. We had 26 last year and 29 this year. And
that's awesome for a small town that we live in, you know. But senior night, how funny, like, for me when I was thinking about senior night, I kind of hated it. I hated that we had to wait that extra 10, 20 minutes before the game and chill with my parents or whoever's waiting with us in line. And I'm zoned into the game. It's always at the end of the year. It's important all the time. And I just remember that picture I have with my parents where I'm just wide-eyed, like not even focusing on them.
Who did you guys play?
We played Gilroy High.
That's your rival.
Nemesis.
That's your rival, right?
Game. It was our last game of the year.
Is that your last game of the year every year?
It was. Not anymore. I don't even think they play that much anymore.
Really?
Well, there's 8 new high schools in the area.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, our senior night was against Cabrillo. They were terrible. I was the only senior who didn't have a parent show up. I was real happy about that.
Your uncle was there, and he's kind of been your football mentor the whole time. I understand.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. But even still, the ceremony before, it's just something you don't really want to.
I had a lot of animosity before the game. My goal for that game was to break the all-time single game tackle record, and that didn't happen.
What is it?
It's 29.
What's the most tackles you've had in one game?
24 was
Holy crap.
my sophomore year against Santa Maria.
Damn. That good for you.
Yeah, I always did well against Santa Maria for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe because they're dog shit.
They were decent when I was in school, but I was probably the same height as all of them. That's probably what helped me out.
See, it's funny. And so for like the coaches, like, are you going to wear your Leatherman? Or did you wear it today?
No. We wear Letterman jackets last practice of the year, regular season.
I get confused. If it was homecoming, senior night,
no,
it's last practice.
It's the last practice.
See, at Live Oak, it would be homecoming. Everyone would wear the Leathermans, the coaches, or I didn't have a Leatherman. I couldn't afford that.
You don't have a Leatherman?
I don't.
You mean Letterman?
Letterman jacket.
No, Letterman.
I have a Leatherman, the tool.
Okay.
I get confused between the two all the time.
It's big difference.
Yeah, I found my Leatherman, the tool, on a fishing trip on the ground when I caught the biggest fish I've ever caught.
Was that was down at the reservoir?
It was at the reservoir, and then your uncle was like, "Oh, let me check it out," and then he fucking punted it.
Yeah, he kicked your fish so hard.
Yeah,
it's a good thing you had 2 hooks in it.
I am the worst. Anyways, senior night. Good luck to the Pirates, seniors. I hope you play your hearts out and get the W that you need.
Yeah, come out and show some support if you're in the area. It should be a great game.
Not like today's Thursday night game, blowout.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad are the Arizona Cardinals?
Josh Rosen looking crappy. Out of all the rookies, I know Jackson hasn't gotten any rep yet. Is he the lowest of the 5?
I don't know. I don't know who looks worse, Josh Rosen or Josh Allen. They both look pretty shitty to me.
And Allen's out with an elbow injury?
They still haven't. I don't know if they've confirmed yet that he's out, but they were like alluding around the fact that
But at least Josh Allen doesn't have too much of a team around him compared to what I think Rosen has.
It's not like the Cardinals
Rosen's
are that
handing
great.
off the ball to a stud running back. There's a decent receiving core in Arizona.
Yeah,
but their O-line was hurting today.
Well, their O-line has like 2 or 3 starters out, and it showed. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb beat the shit out of Josh Rosen.
That rookie looked good today.
Oh, man, they were all over him. Like 2 pick sixes, 2 or 3 sack fumbles. I mean, it was just a nightmare. And if you had Denver D in fantasy, you hit a gold mine.
Yes, I did.
And I was going against it. It stings a little bit.
I think I got 44 fantasy points.
Well, didn't you have Emmanuel Sanders too?
And I had Emmanuel Sanders starting too.
Yeah.
Who threw a touchdown.
Yeah, right?
It was just...
To Cortland Sutton, not Demaryius Thomas. God, he looks slow. I mean, he's like 300 pounds now.
Well, he was questionable to go, right? To get traded and... Well...
Traded? Who's getting traded?
Demaryius wasn't he a questionable trade like last? Or he wanted out, or someone wanted to trade for him?
Where do you get your information?
Everywhere.
Coming from a guy who's 0-6 in fantasy
in one league.
Yeah, what are you in the other? Fucking 2-4.
I'm gonna be 3.
No,
I'm working my way back.
The dry dockers are gonna come back on you. Just
negative.
Wait. The dry dockers.
Negative.
I called it here, folks. Paolo will lose.
I am having
to the
a
dry
rough
doctors.
start. I am having a rough start. And in one league, yes, I am doing absolutely crappy. But that's how it goes sometimes. I am fighting my way back.
In what?
In my other leagues.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
I'll admit it. Am I horrible? I am freaking horrible at fantasy. I like the whole thing. I like hanging out with the guys at the draft day, all that stuff. But right now, I'm doing horrible.
Yeah, but you can't draft worth a shit.
Some years I'm on, some years I'm off. You never know.
Yeah, you do.
No,
you know if you're going to be decent. You got guys. You don't have guys. Your guys stink.
They don't stink as bad as the last 2 Thursday night games.
Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, what was it, 45-10?
It was just a blowout. Did you see the start of the San Jose State game last week? Where they didn't even get an offensive playoff. They had a fumble for a score, 2 fumbles for a score, like the first 5 plays.
Oh, when they played Army?
Was it Army?
I think they played,
I don't even remember who they were playing.
It was either Army last week or the week before. They lost like 56-7.
Yeah, I think it was Army, and they just had a horrible start. And it reminded me of what Arizona looked like today.
So bad. I mean, they were talking about how everybody's job's on the line, and it's just Arizona went from a top 6 defense in the 3-4 to converting to a 4-3, and just they were second to last against the run, where Denver was dead last against the run coming into tonight, because Denver's allowed 2 200-yard rushers, the only 2 on the season. They gave it up to Isaiah Crowell and then Todd Gurley last week. So it's like I want to say the last 2 games, they'd given up 543 yards rushing. And then they come out tonight and shut down David Johnson. I want to say they gave up like 60 yards rushing. It was lights out.
But overall, there's been I think the actual Rams Thursday night game was decent.
Just the last 2
But the last
Thursdays.
2 have let me down so bad. But the Monday night games, Aaron Rodgers again, against my Niners.
Well, your Niners stink.
But they put up a fight.
They should have won that game.
They should have won the game. But it was a good game. I'm on my side, my Niners lost, yeah. But on my side, it was a fun game to watch. You know what I mean? Monday nights are just way more dominating and more important to me to watch than Thursday night games.
Well, I like how it starts the week off early with a Thursday game.
It's fun.
But, you're right. Monday night games have been better as of late, because to start the season, the Thursday night games were great.
Yeah.
Just Arizona doesn't have anything. Offensively, they don't have an identity. Their quarterback can't hold on to the ball in the pocket because he's getting harassed nonstop. They can't get the running game going. They can't get the ball downfield. There's just a lot of things going on. Their defense is playing terrible. So, it's a nightmare situation for the Cardinals.
Do you think Arizona's hurting since Bruce Arenas left?
Bruce Arians, yes. I think that definitely hurt him. I mean, under his tutelage, good word right there.
It is a good word.
They were a solid squad. They were a top 10 squad every year, and they were always competing for that NFC West title. They would battle the Seahawks, and with the upstart Rams, they would battle them. But they've lost guys on both sides of the ball. And it's just not the same team.
Yeah, they caught a little bit of the injury bug, like we were talking about on the O line.
Yeah, it's just they're behind the eight ball.
Iapati's out. Just down.
Yeah, they're behind the eight ball.
So we're just calling you out Thursday night games. Bring it, please.
Yeah, do better next week. I don't even know what the next week's game is. Oh no, it's Houston versus Miami. That might be okay.
It might be okay.
Houston's offense is pretty boring to watch.
We're gonna watch the defense though.
Well, I want to see if DeAndre Hopkins does anything because I have him.
I want to see if Deshaun Watson needs to have a game.
Oh,
he hasn't done anything this year.
He had like -3 points last week. It was awesome.
He's certain for how high he went in a lot of fantasy picks at quarterback. He's not producing very much.
Well, he is coming off a major knee injury.
Yeah, but he still went high.
He did, but their run game isn't there. Their defense has been marginal. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, so hopefully he has a good Thursday game. But the other thing that's happening right now is the Mega Millions.
Ooh, projected to get to $970 million.
Let's just round up $1 billion.
A billion, a cool billion. We'll call it a cool billion.
Yeah. How many commas is that? 4?
Let's see. 0, 1, 3 commas. 4 commas.
$1 million's 3 commas. So $1 billion's got to be 4, right?
No, $1 million's 2 commas because you got 1, 3 zeros, comma, 3 zeros. That's $1 million.
So 3 for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Tons.
$1 billion. You take lump sum, you're looking at like 550
so
to 600.
So what kind of person? So where are you when you decide like, hey, I don't want to take the lump sum. I want to take payments.
You're an idiot.
Or you're already rich.
Doesn't matter. You're still an idiot.
You take the lump sum every time.
You have to. I mean, the thing with the lottery is if you win that shit and you don't take lump sum, you take the payments for life.
You can't like inherit it to like your kids or your family members.
You can't bequeath it to anybody. Like, what happens if you die the next week? All that money goes back to the state.
Well, that's another thing too. Is have you heard about how many lottery winners have died in like the 5 years since they've won?
Oh yeah,
it's up there.
They say how the lottery ruins your life. Idiots. I don't know how $600 million could ruin your life. All I can see is improvements.
Yeah, there's a lot of bums that win the lottery.
So you win $970 million, take lump sum. Let's just call it $500 million. What's the first thing you do?
Well, you got to make phone calls, and you got to build your team. You call the one lawyer you know, or the best lawyer you know, or the guy you trust the most. Which you shouldn't trust lawyers, but hopefully you got a friend or someone. You call, your parents or your wife or whatever. You got to celebrate a little bit, but you got to make sure you got people to cover you, because you're going to get some kind of press. You got to block out, everyone's going to come asking for stuff. So you kind of have to, the investment guy, a lawyer, and who else? Security?
No.
Shoot. But the lawyer for sure.
You got to get a lawyer. I would hire a financial advisor for sure.
Money guy.
I think you might want a CPA or whatever the step above the CPA is. I want to say it's like an EP or there's some other acronym for somebody right above a CPA. You got to have your ducks in a row because you win that kind of scratch and you're going to get killed in taxes. You're going to get people coming out of the woodworks with their hands out.
Well, I think when you win don't fall in love with the billion. You're not going to get $1 billion.
No, I mean,
don't fall.
You're going to take the lump sum, then you're going to get taxed. And so really after taxes, you're probably looking on $500 million, you're probably looking at $250 million, give or take 50. $200 to $300 million is what you're looking at. And with that kind of money, you should be able to buy happiness.
Oh, You could live on. We were talking about. You could just live on the interest.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're a fool.
Yeah, I mean, what did we do it at? How much did we do it at? 300 million.
We did 300 million, so you get 18 million a year.
Yeah,
at 3%.
At 3%, low ball on the interest. You're making like 15 to 18 million a year.
Okay, so those are the things you do, right? You got to cover yourself. You got to make sure you're safe and the money's going to the right places. What are you buying?
First thing you're buying?
Well, what are you buying?
What am I buying?
Yeah, what are you buying for? So now you're an outdoorsman. You love sports, but you're a simple guy.
Yeah,
and I think you take that claim with some pride.
Exactly,
right? You're humble, but now you don't get to be humble. You have money to spend.
Well, the first thing.
This is for you, and this is for you. What do you buy for you and the family?
Well, I wouldn't buy anything for me first. I would take care of family members, few friends, the closest people to me. I wouldn't really give money per se. I would take care of debts or house payments or something like that to where it's going to make an impact.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'll do.
Clear all debt.
But, my generosity would come at a price. I would be like, I'm going to do this for you.
So I'm your friend. We're your podcast co-host.
I'd nominate you for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, would you? I cannot. I hope you win. That might be the biggest honor I ever get.
Yeah, there'd be something. There'd definitely be something. But like I said, my generosity would come at a price. It's, I'm going to do this for you. Don't ever ask me for anything again. That's how I draw the line.
Yeah.
You don't get those repeat offenders.
Right.
Like, oh, I need $10,000 for this. I need a couple thousand for this.
Maybe I win and I know you got some bills. Like, hey, I took care of your bills, and here's this. Like, there's, I'm taking the weight off, and here's a little prize. I love you, your family, and I have a sister. I got my immediate family. I got a couple cousins. Not a huge family, but that's probably where I'd go first. Probably hook up the kids, make sure future Aglonis are going to UCLA and Stanford.
See,
no big deal.
You wouldn't tell the kids to piss off and make their own money?
Not if they're on path. If they're, if they have the grades, and everyone's living humbly. Like, I have this fund ready to go, and I wouldn't do it maybe in a college fund. But like in trusts?
You'd have to put it in a trust. You'd have to put it in something interest bearing. I mean, granted, college would be paid for, but I think that's something where, in order to make your kid responsible, you'd have to put it with You'd have to have some stipulations. Like, you have to graduate college, and you have to have a job. I mean,
ambition, something like, oh yeah, I get to go to college for free and party. No,
yeah, you're not going to be a piece of shit your whole life. You're going to do something.
So that's all. Now you just covered your ass. Family's good, everyone's good. I want to know what you're buying, Sean.
First thing I buy?
Yes.
Oh man, that's a tough question because at the time you're thinking everything.
Are you buying what's the camo gear that you guys love?
Sitka? Would I buy some Sitka gear?
You'd probably go right to Sitka and get a nice freaking shotgun.
No, Sitka only makes clothing.
Well, no, I'm saying that this is. I'm just assuming you'd set up yourself for
a
hunting trip.
I got the shotgun I want already. First thing I'd probably go for, I would go for a '69 GTO Judge.
Oh, the car you've always
gunmetal gray.
That's
just badass, tricked out. And that'd probably be the first. Probably be the only major splurge item I'd spend.
How much is that going for?
$50K maybe. A drop in the bucket.
But get it souped up. Get the $100K one.
Yeah.
There's one.
Oh, I'm sure.
Spend the $100K. Get it going.
I would definitely have to make a Vegas run.
Oh,
I want to know what it would feel like to blow $1 million, at least. Just blow it all on hats or something stupid, just to get it out of the system. Because when you got that kind of money, just so you can say you did it. In my book,
what happened if you win some more? Just be stupid, like,
right?
Hey, I won. Freaking! Imagine if you won $500,000 in a night. Not to say, like, don't get me wrong, you just won.
Yeah. 100 times that.
100 times that, but it's just like, ha. On top, you're on a heater. You can't get off of it.
Yeah.
See, I might go property.
Yeah, I would definitely invest in property somewhere. A few properties, probably.
And I probably wouldn't move. The first property would probably be stay local. Like I moved here for a reason to the San Ynez Valley, and there's great homes around here. Not far from the coast. Get me a nice little mini mansion. Set up my 5-10 car garage.
Oh yeah.
See,
I don't think we'd move. I mean,
we'd have to.
Why?
Because people would break into your house.
No, they wouldn't.
Absolutely
not. I would put in a big ass garage. It'd be a compound.
Your little place, like, don't get me wrong, it's cool. It's too small.
There's
for a lot of winter.
There's a lot of potential there. A lot of potential.
I think you're attached to it because you just finished fixer-uppering it.
No, not even that. It makes sense. Add a second story to the house, build a big ass garage right next to the house. Why?
Oh, maybe.
Why? We already got it's on like 5/8 of an acre or 3/4 of an acre. I mean, it's good.
Okay, so then local, that's your place then.
Yeah.
Where's the next place you buy property?
I'd probably buy a duck club somewhere.
Okay. Or help.
Yeah. Probably somewhere in Texas.
Texas land is so cheap. You can get 50 acres.
50?
I'm just saying.
Like 1,000. Probably something like that for a hunting lease and things like that. Maybe a vacation home somewhere in an island somewhere. Maybe something back east. So when we go back and visit my old man, probably traveled a little. Well, first off, I'd set up the next 20 years of hunting trips.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah,
it's all set up.
I'm hunting and fishing for the rest of my life, basically.
Easy.
Everywhere. Oh, I've been there.
It doesn't cost that much. At the end of the tank, with that kind of money, you're really not spending that much.
No, it is what it is. Yeah. But
okay, so that's what you're doing with that. You need some write-offs. What are you donating to?
Well,
what are you writing off?
Well, I'd donate to the football program. I'd get them a new weight room, badass coaching facility.
Would you get the indoor field?
Only under the specifications that it's football only.
Well, what happened if it's not football season and it's raining on a soccer?
Then nobody gets to use it. Fuck soccer. I don't care about soccer.
It's such a big dude. Those things are huge.
Oh, it is. And they're not going to use it because it's a football facility.
What high school has an indoor facility?
Around here, none.
None. Why does a California team need an indoor facility?
Because it gets cold in the morning sometimes. Or it gets really hot.
Yeah, we have an indoor facility for the AC.
Yeah, right?
That's probably what it is. A lot of windows.
You make it into an indoor weight room / practice field facility.
Okay. Yeah, those college facilities right now are insane.
Oh, it's disgusting how nice they are.
It. The locker rooms, I was talking to Josh about it too. It was like, those things are badass. The sit-in lockers, you got your closet, you got your phone charger, you got your safe.
Yeah, it's everything you want. I mean, and that'd probably come at a price.
They have the air ventilated helmet and shoulder pad racks above it.
Yeah, that's probably a cool $5 to $10 mil.
Easy write-off.
I think that's a big write-off for the first year.
Oh yeah.
After that, whatever my wife wanted to donate.
Do you want your name on the building?
Probably not.
How about just a picture donated by not the Hitman of the Year?
Yeah, I would probably go for something stupid like that. Something funny to keep the levity of the situation. In good humor. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to be all stiff and rigid and shit like that.
Okay, so you help out the high school. That's good. Yeah, I'd probably help out my old high school too. There's something to give into a place of education. But all right. The lotto.
What about you? I mean, I said what I'm going to do.
Well, that's I feel stupid copying you with the football thing, but I'd probably do it. It's close to my home. My kid's probably going to go there. You know what I mean? I've been part of the program already. This is my 6th year. I'd probably help out Live Oak too. Mm-hmm. And again, it's just something. I guess they gave me something. I want to give back to them.
What's the first thing you buy?
Oh. Something. I'd probably get an Italian car.
An Italian car.
I even though I don't even like them that much anymore, I've always wanted like a Lambo. I'd move. I'd not move. I'd fly. I'd just quick vacation, go somewhere fun. Brazil, Miami, Bourbon. Probably not Bourbon Street, but I just want to go somewhere crazy like a Vegas and party.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to Brazil because you'd probably get killed.
I think I'd be okay. My name's Paolo. Hey.
Yeah, not when you're flashing big green
cash.
bugs.
I wouldn't. They wouldn't even know who I am. I'd go quick and let my money people handle what they got to handle. Let everything go. Private island, maybe. Yes. St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Jamaica. I'd probably go to Jamaica, bro. I'd probably go to Jamaica.
You'd probably go to Amsterdam.
What? Yeah, just have some fun and relax and let everything kind of settle down at home. And it'd probably be 2 months. Go to New Zealand, go to Peru, fish, hunt, do whatever I got to do, go see a couple things. When I come back home, see how my mansion's doing,
Now, would you get something built from the ground up?
If I needed to, if I really saw a piece of land in a place where I thought would be awesome, then yeah. But for me, I think having like the rooms where I want it in the kitchen, I could just change it. I'm not someone where like I needed to be that specific. I don't need the kitchen window facing this view. I'm not, to I need that. But if there's a place that has a garage, a barn, I don't want the living quarters to be that enormous to where like if my kid calls my name when he's sleeping, that my room can't hear it.
Well, yeah, he just hits the intercom button.
Oh, that's right. Dad,
you're balling now.
Meatloaf,
Ma.
I'd rather have land than, don't get me wrong, the state will be big, but I'd rather have the land to, set up a mini turf field, not a grass field.
Mm-hmm.
You could play whatever you want, baseball, soccer, you get the tennis court, indoor, outdoor. I want a big, like hut style barbecue picnic area covered. I want a pool with fountains.
Would you do an indoor basketball court?
Yes and no. It'd probably be part of like my own indoor gym. You know what I mean? I wouldn't need the full size court. I've seen a lot of watching the cribs back in the day. There's a lot of indoor courts and not even like shacks. Is not a full size court. It's like the YMCA court. I do that. You know what I mean? I don't need to take up that much space. And then the building might be bigger, but it's also got, some basic gym equipment that I'd never use. Let the kids have their space. It might have a pool table. Definitely a game room.
Badass theater room.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of like having a huge theater. It's simple enough.
Like 8 seats.
This garage. For a theater room, that's all I really need. Couple good seats, sitting back. Because I'm not a fan of the projector.
No, but I'd get a big ass fucking TV. Probably 2 or 3 of them.
Everywhere, bro. TVs
like
everywhere.
All one.
Well, that picnic hut area would have TVs in it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But all right, so you got the house.
I want that Japanese Ichiban freaking Japanese grill.
You want a hibachi?
Hibachi grill. That's what I want. I want to make that freaking onion volcano. And if I was that rich, I'd just have the Japanese.
You'd have a chef on hand.
Chef on hand. I want snacks. Oh, chicken nuggets from McDonald's? No, I want you to make chicken nuggets for me here, Pierre.
Oh, his name's Pierre?
Whatever.
Was he Vietnamese?
I'd give him a fucked up name every single time. I would never, if I had a personal chef, I'd never call him by his name. I'd always call him something different.
That is awesome.
And that's what I pay for.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for that.
Yeah.
If I want to make fun of my personal chef, I'll make fun of him. Do you get like a personal trainer? So who's on staff? Do you get a personal trainer? You get a chef? You get a driver?
No.
Do you get a butler?
No.
Nannies?
Nope.
Do you get a personal? Do you get an entourage?
I think I'd already have one.
Who?
Everybody be just kind of hanging around. Yeah, Paolo, you're already hanging around.
Oh, right, I made it.
Yeah, you're already hanging out, so it's good enough.
Yeah, so the lotto is huge.
Go out and buy your tickets.
Good luck to the person who wins.
Hopefully it's me.
I know. Is it crazy how greedy? Do you remember? I'd say about a year ago, I got really up there again, and everyone started buying a lot of tickets. I forget how many million it was. I think it was like 80 or 90 million. Or 900 million, I'm sorry. I'm not sure. But anyways, a lady, I think she was like from Chicago, bought 10,000 tickets. And then she got a GoFundMe to pay off her debt because she bought it like on credit. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's just dumb.
And people donate.
Well, people are idiots. That's why. I mean, half those
Should we start a GoFundMe for the podcast?
We might have to at this point. At the rate we're not buying equipment, yeah, we might have to.
Well, you know what's funny about the Thursday night game? Game's over, fourth quarter, right? And did you hear Troy Aikman?
Oh, man.
He's hating on the podcast life.
Well, he doesn't listen to podcasts. He's heard them, but he can't get into them. It's like, come on, Troy.
Sometimes I have mad respect for Troy Aikman. Because I'm a Niner fan and he beat us, and he's a pretty solid quarterback, UCLA, Oklahoma guy. But then there's days like today where I'm just like, fuck you, Troy Aikman.
Well, I'd rather listen to him than Joe Buck.
Oh, people I don't like to listen to. Joe Buck and Chris Collinsworth.
Oh, the worst. I'm just glad they don't commentate together because I might not watch that game.
I'm going to see, what I could do to become a Monday night guy. If Dennis Miller can.
Yeah.
He
set the bar really low.
I got a chance.
You do. You get a few hair plugs and drop a few LBs.
They barely get their face shown. A little bit at halftime, a little bit of pregame. Get the cool Monday night jacket. Do they even wear those anymore?
I don't think so.
They should.
They wear their own suits these days.
Well, I need the yellow one because I don't have any suits. So, well, okay. Enough of the Mega Millions. Sean, it's the start of the NBA season.
Yay!
Surprise to us.
Yeah.
It
Where did it come from? I thought we were still in preseason.
Well, when you're in MLB playoff season, football's going.
Who cares about basketball?
It's just, don't get me wrong, I love hoops and I love watching it after Christmas.
Right?
It's it just happened so fast, and the games are starting.
First, LeBron made his LA debut tonight. I didn't see how the game went because I really don't care. But I'm sure there's a lot of mixed emotion out there. A lot of Laker fans probably are super stoked that
the Lake Show is back. It's it's fun because don't get me wrong. Most of our lives, at least when we were starting paying attention to sports, Kobe was there, and the Lake Show was a thing. He brought Staples in. Shaq was there before that. There was a dull era before that.
Well, yeah, watching the Del Harris era with like Nick Van Exel, Vlade, Cedric Ceballos, Eldon Campbell.
Who's Jones? There was another kid too.
Who?
Last name Jones?
Eddie Jones.
Eddie Jones was on the squad. Yeah.
I mean, they were mediocre at best. I mean,
but they weren't bad.
They
were
weren't
dudes.
They weren't good.
They were great.
They weren't.
They weren't
good.
Lake Show.
No,
yeah.
When your starting five is Eldon Campbell, Vlade Divac, Nick Van Exel, Cedric Ceballos, and Eddie Jones.
But you pick up Kobe for Vlade. And then it just changed things in a couple years.
Well, you get Shaq from Orlando and, Robert Ory. You start getting guys.
Yeah.
And then you dominate.
Well, what's funny is that, LeBron hit those half-court shots in the preseason game. And then he hit one, like a big fadeaway in practice, and it went all viral. And people are like complaining about it, and it's big news. It's a new era, and it's LA. And you know what? If someone's going to make a big shot in practice, why can't it be LeBron? And people want to see it.
Yeah.
It needs to be Showtime. LA is used to it.
And I was saying like mixed emotions. There's definitely Laker fans that are super excited, and then there's probably that majority of Laker fans that are kind of torn. For so many years, they're seeing LeBron just waxing everybody, albeit he's playing in the East, a very weak conference, to say the least. It's not the Wild West, but to see him dominate for so long in the East, and now he's headed west. Now he's got to battle the big dogs like night in and night out. You can get away with playing in the East and, we got these shit dicks today.
But he's got enough youth on the team, and he looks like he's rejuvenated.
Well, LeBron really hasn't slowed down much. I mean, What is this, year 16?
Insane.
15 or 16? Yeah. And he's 10 times better than when he started, and the motherfucker plays every minute. I mean, you can't fault his desire, his conditioning, his skill set. I mean, the dude's legit. He's number 2 at worst all time.
Look at again. Obviously, I'm a Warrior guy, Bay Area guy. I would love to see him. I would love to go to Staples because I miss Kobe at Staples. I saw him at the Oracle. I saw Shaq at the Oracle. I've never been to Staples Center. It's worth it to me.
Yeah.
I might buy a $400 ticket and go watch LeBron as a Laker. Sure, I saw LeBron at the Oracle for like $15.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
But that was probably a shitty ass Warrior team, though.
No, it was Baron Davis, and they went to the playoffs that year.
Was that Monte Ellis, Baron Davis?
Monte was young, yep.
Yeah. They had some young guys. They just weren't good.
They weren't. It wasn't a great team. Again, when you could go to the Oracle and spend $45-$50, shoot, it was a good time. And and for these games, they still do well. Sell tons of tickets. The place wasn't empty.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when a Shaq or a LeBron or Kobe at the time, the Celtics when they became the big three when they had Kevin and Ray and Paul Pierce, that place sold out and was the highest populated indoor event in California of all time. It was it's a cool place, but I want to go to Staples Center because I always wanted to go to the Great Western Forum. I wanted to go Boston Garden and Madison Square Garden. And I never really, it's never going to happen.
And you've never been to any of them?
Never. I never got to go to a lot of games.
I've never been to a basketball game.
Oh, good times. Good times. You catch the free T-shirt out of the T-shirt gun. But basketball games are a great time. But yeah, since I didn't get to go to Forum, I'd love to go to the Staples Center.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I've been there for a concert.
What'd you see?
George Strait.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, and then the Warriors, they did their ring ceremony. They got all the rings. But the West, it seems like, the Rockets are looking good again. Should be a fun one. I'm excited for this season. So, just real quick, we're going to make an early pick. Who you got representing the West?
Well, I think it's pretty easy to say who the preseason favorite is to win the West. If you don't say Golden State, you're kind of out of it because they've got the experience. They returned everybody. They got Boogie Cousins. I mean, if he's healthy.
Here's a real question. Since the Lakers have LeBron now, where do you think they place in the West for playoffs?
Somewhere between 6 and 8.
Okay, pretty low.
Yeah,
but still making it.
They'll make the playoffs for sure.
It's going to be that tight, though. It's not the difference between 6 and 8 won't be a lot of games.
No, it never is in the West.
Yeah,
1 and 2 typically are separated from the pack, for a pretty big margin. But that 3 through 8 spot is a matter of 5 to 8 games. And are they? Let's see. I'm going to say the Lakers win 51 games.
Okay.
51 games.
That's a ton in the East. That's a number 2 seed in the East.
Yeah, and if they want to make the playoffs, they're going to have to win that many games.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? 82 games? They got 82 regular season games in basketball? Yeah, I'm going to say they win 51 games. That you heard it first on Hold My Whistle.
That's what we're doing. Yeah. For me, as far as the Warriors thinking, they finished at number 2 last year in the West. And again, I don't think they're having too much pressure in the regular season. Not that they want to be first, or that they don't want to be first, I should say. But they're so casual about the regular season now.
Yeah, I mean, they chased the win record, and that didn't work out well. They got run down in the playoffs.
But that was pre-Kevin.
Yeah, and I'm saying that they got worn down.
Absolutely,
night in, night out, starters going for the record.
Win the games you need to win.
Yeah,
they're gonna win, get a couple win streaks, but being second, third, even fourth in the West isn't going to hurt them. I think once they get in the playoffs, you're going to play tough teams anyway.
I'm going to say the Warriors win 64 games.
Man, I like the specifics you're on right now.
Yeah, I'm going specific. 64 games for the Warriors.
I'm going to say they're going to drop from a 2 to a 3 seed this year and go from there.
Who do you think is going to win the West? You think Houston's going to take it?
I think.
You think so?
I think so. I think they have something to prove. I think they go at it. Or if Houston doesn't, I think they drop to a 5-6. Because they could get worn out too. Last year could have, they could have blew the load.
Yeah. Who do you think then takes control of the West?
If it's not Houston, the obvious answer is OKC.
I don't think they're good
But
enough. They're not good enough.
Yeah, and then you got Utah. You got all these other teams that are just.
Who else besides Utah? I mean, New Orleans is
the Pelicans.
They're a 5 to 8 seed.
I think the Pelicans. Anthony's. He was supposed to. Considered MVP last year. He was in the race.
Yeah, well, he's going to be a Warrior next year probably.
Right, but still, so I'm just saying that's where it goes. But those are all tough teams still. And the Lakers fit in there right after. I don't think they're going to make a push for those speeds. But if all those teams drop, LeBron, he's got to be in the conversation.
LeBron will help that team get to the playoffs. He will not carry the Lakers to a number 1 seed. A top 3 seed. I'll take it a little.
We're talking the Warriors, Houston, Oklahoma City not making it, and who's rising up? That's what it's a far scenario, but that's you have to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, so you're looking at all right, 3 teams there plus New Orleans is 4. You got Lakers 5. OKC. You can't forget about Portland because if they hang around,
but they just did not show anything last year.
Well, if they hang around long enough,
Memphis,
maybe they're decent. San Antonio, I think, is going to slide a little bit.
Yeah, that's what man. They used to be a staple.
Oh yeah,
they were a staple. Now with Kawhi gone,
Kawhi's gone. Parker retired. Right, Tony Parker retired.
I don't.
I mean,
if they do it,
then they won't. I mean, LaMarcus
coaching though.
It's LaMarcus Aldridge and who else?
Yeah,
like nobody really.
Clippers stink.
Yeah, Clippers lost. Clippers lost all their guys, and I think it's back to the old shitty Clippers that we're used to seeing for so long. But the West is what it is. It's a fucking dogfight every night.
All right, so we haven't talked a lick about the East, but let's talk about our all-time lineup. We're JV football. I'm a JV football coach. We're football coaches.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
I know. You've never done it. Anyways, but we're coaches. We've been watching basketball for a long time. There's a lot of greats out there. We all know who they are. But if you had to pick your top 5, Sean, who's your top 5?
Well, instead of going top 5 straight, let's go position by position.
Oh, I hate that because I don't know who.
Well, it'll be close enough.
Okay. I'll give you mine then too.
All right, so I'm going to go point guard first, like you should.
Okay.
Like every good team starts with whoever's
the ball handler, bringing up the ball.
Whoever's taking up the ball. And I think this is a pretty easy one. Most people will agree with me. Magic Johnson would be my point guard.
Right. I'm with you. He's got the size, the speed. He distributes the ball. He scores.
I mean,
he gets boards.
What is he? 6'8" point guard.
And he was potentially the best ball distributor of all time.
Yes. I mean, he's
clutch.
He was doing things that nobody was doing before. I mean, you got a facilitator like a John Stockton or a Jason Kidd. I mean, guys like that, they're good, but they don't have it all.
Right.
They couldn't really score like Magic could.
But that was the job. They would do their job and they'd be part of the team.
Yeah, and at that point in their career, in their system, that's what they were there for. It was like they're just facilitators helping other people.
Because there's the point guard scorer. Like I might type. Thinking about Allen Iverson, or even like a Chris Paul. Point guards who score.
Yeah, I mean, point guard back in the day wasn't really that scorer type. It was the assist guy or the pass, like just the defender. And nowadays it's a scoring league and everybody shoots the ball. It doesn't matter who you are, everybody's got to shoot.
But Magic would score still.
Yeah.
Magic was a great scorer. And again, like I said, he was clutch. From his rookie year on,
he was great at running the fast break.
Oh, well, that's, that whole system.
The showtime.
Oh, it was great. And being able to handle, a big town like LA and, handle the hype. He was, to win the championship your rookie year.
Well, that and, the thing with Magic is at any point he was a size mismatch with all other guards almost at that time.
Yeah. They had him playing D against the 5s and the 4s and running the point on offense.
Yeah, so when he was on offense, it's a mismatch for a guard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because he could shake and bake him, It's not like he was a slug. I mean, he could get down the floor, distribute the ball, take it to the rim.
And not to mention a way more physical time.
Exactly.
And he knows how to play dirty too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and he'd back you down. He'd post you up. I mean, there was a lot of things he could do. So, as in terms of a point guard, what more could you ask for?
Magic.
I mean, am I a fan of Jason Williams, white chocolate? Yeah.
There's a lot of flashy things we like about a lot of point guards. Like,
yeah.
Cool crossovers or this, that. The highlights are great because you have the ball so much. There's so many point guards that mess up, though, that have those same. Like, if you watch Jason Williams highlights, you think, oh, he's the best of all time. But you watch his career, he's a normal point guard in the NBA.
Yeah. Slightly better than average, I'd say. But the dude could distribute. He could handle the ball. I mean,
and that's why I like Jason Kidd too, because in my head, like, oh, I want to build a team. Great distributor, and he, I liked him on Team USA for so long.
Yeah,
he's a team leader. He gets better. His shot got better later on in his career.
Yeah, that's his big knock.
I met him, so I kind of like have this.
His shot was terrible.
In the beginning, not at the end.
No, not at the end, but for a majority of his career, his shot was not. I think he was like a 35 career % shooter or something. In the first 5 to 10 years, he was a terrible shooter.
Yeah, what other point guards were out there that you?
Let's see. Well, you had like Muggsy Bogues.
No, he's not one of the greatest.
No, not one of the greatest. Well, I mean, we're talking point guards, true point guards. I mean, AI.
Yeah.
You get AI out running the point. He was solid.
Who I like, and he won a couple championships? Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey.
I think Chauncey was like, people don't realize how good he was, and I think he was a good point guard.
He's a big dude. I met him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he came to the casino.
Okay.
He's a big dude. He could definitely handle the rock. Let's see.
Well, okay, we got the point guards done. Who's your number 2?
All right. In terms of guards, I'm not gonna limit them to shooting guard or anything like that.
He's just on your lineup.
The next guy I'm going with is MJ. You gotta have it.
He's got to be on the top 5.
You gotta have MJ.
Absolutely.
Hands down, MJ is in the lineup for sure. What do you say about him? I mean, the dude did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Scored, rebounded, played defense.
He was Defensive Player of the Year, scoring titles, championships. He's the GOAT. He's the jump man. You got to have Mike. I don't even want to spend too much time talking about it. It's just obvious.
Yeah, it's MJ. You don't have to say much about MJ. It's just him.
Yeah. If I don't have MJ, even though it's probably not his position, maybe I have Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, you got to have MJ in the roster. That's him. For my third guy,
we're only on a second.
I know.
I
already went Larry and Michael. Those, just the 2 of the greatest of all time.
Okay.
So literally on the list, it's Magic, Larry, and Michael. But my third guy, I kind of want like a junkyard dog. I want a guy who could defend, get boards, and the best guy at that for me all time is the Worm, Dennis Rodman. I need a guy like that on my team. I want a bad boy on my team.
Yeah, I mean, he's what, 6'10"?
He's big. He's long. He wasn't the biggest,
but he was so scrappy down low. I mean,
he's going to play for you,
and he was going to out hustle you.
Oh,
wasn't a scorer. Didn't really like take it over the top in terms of scoring. But I think his career was like 16 to 18 boards a game.
Insane.
I mean, he just dirty.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Ricky Henderson stealing the base records. No one's going to touch Dennis Rodman's rebound records.
I mean, he did it with the Pistons. He did it with the Bulls. He did it with the Lakers.
San Antonio.
He did it with the Spurs. I mean, the dude could flat ass box you out, and he was outsized probably every night.
Who might compare to him is maybe a Charles Barkley.
Not even close.
And you'd have to take Dennis.
Yeah,
you'd have to take Dennis.
Close.
But that's like, who else would you compare to that could do that kind of job?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm sure there's guys, but Dennis is the best.
Yeah. So for my third guy, I got Magic and MJ. I'm going to take it to LeBron. You're going to get LeBron out there.
He's definitely in the conversation.
I mean, because like I said, he's a multifaceted player, 6'9", 250, runs like a gazelle, jumps through the roof.
He attacks the rim.
And you can't can't stop him at the rim.
And his shot has gotten so much better.
Oh, it's uncanny how good he's become from long range.
And he's not aged. He's injury free.
His hairline has definitely aged, but him as a player, nah, he's scoring 30 points a game, and I mean, it might have been a little different, if had he played in the early 90s, late 80s, and like the physical era.
As I think about how you just say his hairline and everything, and talking about playing in the 90s and stuff, when the Bulls used to play the Utah Jazz for the finals, it was 2 or 3 years. But Karl Malone was endorsing Rogaine.
Yeah.
And do you remember when he was on the free throw line and Scottie Pippen, Rogaine? How bad would that hurt LeBron if people started doing that?
He might shed a tear.
Oh, dude, it's perfect.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that no one would do to LeBron right now.
No, and absolutely not.
And they should.
Yeah.
The only guy who would do it to him is on his team now.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, that'd be my third guy. I mean, what do you say about a guy like LeBron? You can't say anything because the dude's proven it time in and time out.
I can't. Is he the best of all time conversation? It's debatable, but does he deserve to be on? Like, you'd be stupid if you didn't pick him.
Yeah,
you'd be stupid if you didn't pick him. All right, I'm going to jump to my big man.
Okay,
I know he's the 5, but he's probably you gotta. Big man basketball is what we grew up with. I know it's not that important right now, but if I was going to pick a big man, in my eyes, Shaquille O'Neal is the truth. In his prime, unstoppable. Maybe he didn't play against other big greats. I think he did. So people,
he played in a time.
Oh, I think he played against awesome people.
You got Zoe, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon. I mean,
he was younger than them. And that's what people, they're like, oh, this, that. But he proved that he could play with them. He adapted. He grew. And he was, if people don't remember how fast he was off the ball, with the ball, and he attacked the rim like no other.
You couldn't stop it.
Can't stop him.
Without
the hack of Shaq was when you change the game. How people defend offenses. You're a game changer. He's like LT for basketball.
Yeah, right. I mean, you couldn't stop him down low. He just was an immovable object. You couldn't slow him down. You could only foul him.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's old school big guys. You got the Bill Russell and this and that. I take Shaq. The only other guy maybe I might take is like Hakeem, because he's he was more of a finesse guy, and he was nice. He could score. He's one of the greatest of all time. Top 50.
Yeah.
It's questionable, but I just pick Shaq over him.
All right. Yeah, Shaq would be my 4th choice as well. And rounding out my first 5 would be whatchamacallit, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Long, you can't stop the sky hook. I'd go 2 big guys. When you have that kind of speed and athleticism.
That sky hook too was dangerous. Still would work right now.
You can't stop it. You find me somebody that can defend that, and you'll see the best defender the NBA's ever seen.
And he's just someone you want on the court with your team. He's smart. He gets down. He's long.
Yeah, I mean,
how hard it is. People don't realize. Imagine Kareem putting a hand up in your face and you're trying to score. It's insane. And he used to train with Bruce Lee.
Right?
Like all the little things he used to do extra. Like,
he's a stud.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have him and Shaq down low. Who do you stop? Nobody. It's insane.
It's crazy how many Lakers are, that starting 5 could be insane for the Lakers. They showed a picture of Shaq, Kareem, Kobe, LeBron, and Magic. That 5 alone could be someone's list.
And you haven't even touched like half of them. You have like Elgin,
all on the Lakers.
Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, it's insane. And but for me, my 5th guy is I'm going to go back to the Lakers. I pick Kobe Jellybean Bryant. Just having that competitor, having, imagine him off the ball, working hard. He'd be the man, and he loved playing next to Magic. He loved playing next to Michael. He's already played with Shaq. That might be the only problem.
Yeah,
that might be a problem. So by Shaq, if I do create this team, Shaq's traded the next year. But Kobe by himself, don't get me wrong, like he's got his faults, he's got this, but again, he's got the clutch gene. He works hard. He might be actually the leader of the team.
Yeah.
In some way. He might,
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys, it'd be hard for them to play second fiddle to the other. And Kobe might be the one who feels like
there's only one ball. You know, how many shots are there going to be? I don't know. So it's get in where you fit in.
Kobe played with Dennis too.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's solid. Rounding out your 5 with that, you can't argue that. Now you got one guy to bring off the bench. I'm gonna bring Larry Bird. Larry. Just gonna bring Larry.
Insane, and he.
Say what you want about Larry. The dude could stroke it. He played defense.
Again, he played very physical ball.
Yeah, an Indiana boy. Just
hard work.
Yeah.
If there was anyone that would out-hustle Dennis Rodman, it'd probably be Larry Bird.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about him. The dude could play, scoring in Beantown, just leading them to titles. And the dude's a phenomenal player. Yeah. Was a phenomenal player. So.
So it's not a bad choice. He's one of the greatest of all time, and you might have to put him in. He's top 10 all time. Easy.
Arguably, yes.
Yeah. For me, I was thinking, who's been the best off the bench of all time? In my head, it's like Robert Horry.
Oh, yeah,
because he's come clutch, right? And I want to pick Robert Horry.
Everybody wants to pick Robert Horry because that's all you think of.
That's all you think of. So in my head, I'm like, hey, who would do better than Robert? And it'd be Steph Curry. And it's the obvious pick. But imagine Steph coming up and sniping shots off.
He's kind of like, if you look at your starting lineup, he's like the Christian Leitner
exactly.
on your dream team.
Kyle Korver. He's just the light-skinned kid on the team, and just go around and we'll throw you the ball, just shoot it.
Yeah. That's pretty much all you're good for.
And imagine if that was his role. And on that team, that's what it would be. Come off the bench, hit a couple J's, we're good. Might come back.
Yeah, right?
So that off the bench, but who's been great off the bench also is like, late. It's funny, like right now, it's guys late in their career. Last couple of years when Vince Carter was coming off the bench and just
Andre Iguodala has done it for years in Golden State.
The six-man award is no joke.
Jamal Crawford. I mean, a guy like Iguodala was a star in Philadelphia. Took less money, to stay in Golden State, come off the bench. I mean, the dude's still getting minutes, but
it just proves that depth is definitely a real important part in winning championships, winning games in the NBA.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's
your starting 5 is always so much.
It's a long season, and you got to get those guys that are going to give you 15 to 20 minutes a game to spell the starters and produce.
And produce and defend. And or like, hey, guess what? When you're starting 5 guys in the NBA, they're getting paid. Guess what? Someone's having an off day, take him out, and you got a guy that's a tweener like an Andre Iguodala. He could play a couple different positions.
Oh yeah, I mean he's used to the limelight. He was the guy when he was in Philadelphia. Like his first few seasons, in the league, he was the man. So you get a guy like that bringing that kind of experience, that kind of talent coming off the bench. It's huge.
It's crazy. We picked most of our lineups are from the 90s and early 2000s.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no question.
Best era.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope these new guys could prove that. But I want to bring that kind of basketball back. If it's just a little combination of physicality,
never gonna happen.
The shooting game is just taking
not
over.
In today's age. Everybody flops, looking for a foul, looking for that and one. It's just different.
Well, Mike kind of, I'm not gonna lie, Mike kind of set up the and one thing. That little fadeaway shot, get the foul, hit the fade. Set up that whole get the foul thing. James Harden's just ruined it though.
Oh, dude flops more than a soccer player. I mean, it's like throws his head back just to get a call.
The beard's flapping. It's horrible.
The thing I like though is he doesn't get that fucking call in the playoffs.
Oh no.
You can lead the league in scoring from shooting 17 free throws a game, but you're not getting that call in the playoffs, son.
Mm-hmm. Not in the playoffs. Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough of that. I liked your list. It was pretty good. A lot of similarities. I'm sure everyone's got a different list, but those are ours. But it's Thursday again. Sean, hit me with one of your favorite jams we did. If you listen to last week's episode, you know we didn't have the best audio on Sean's music, but give me what you're listening to. What's your old school beat for the week?
All right, so my old school beat for the week is I'm going with the Commodores.
Ooh, with Lionel?
With Lionel.
Ooh, is that a synthesizer?
I think so.
Dude, that was good afros back then.
This was part of my intro to my wedding dance.
Oh yeah, you did a whole choreographed dance.
Yeah, we did a choreographed dance.
Look at you. So this is
just makes you want to dance a little bit.
Oh yeah, this is like good funk and soul, man.
Oh yeah, it was. This broke out after we slow danced to Samba Pati by Santana.
Oh, there you go.
And then we busted out a choreographed dance into the electric slide.
So when's your anniversary again?
August 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
the
yeah,
Commodores.
Lady by the Commodores. Jam of the week for me.
Ooh, really nice. Way to take it back. I want to dance.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
All right, Paolo.
All right. Well, my jam of the week is, kind of classic. It's a little Hall & Oates. Rich Girl. It was the first song that had a curse word in it for me. It said bitch. I was like, hey, this is a little risque. But no, Hall & Oates, one of the best bands of all time, And when you realize there's a white guy singing, it's awesome. And they have so many songs.
Oh yeah.
But this one does it for me. Hit that note, Daryl. And then I don't even know Oates. He just never really talked, never got in the public. But he had a great mustache.
Great stash.
Oh, awesome stash. Good cruising music.
I get that. I could bob my head to that.
If you don't listen to Hall & Oates, they get the best stuff.
Yeah, great 80s music. Great 80s music.
Yeah, those are our Throwback Thursday jams.
All right. And on that note, I think we're going to call it a show. We talked some football, talked a little basketball, talked about some lottery winnings and what ifs.
Yeah.
Go out, buy yourself a Mega Millions ticket. Good luck to you.
Yeah, I hope you win.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I hope I win.
Right?
Time to be greedy. Hey, well, there's one more song I like to listen to, a little bit of Flow Rida. Hey, that's the show. Randy, make sure the music's playing, because we're out.
Can you blow my whistle, baby, let me know. Girl, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and we start real slow. You just put your lips together